today. It's good to have you here, Mr. Veining. Thank you for your advocacy for agriculture, especially in the context of trade, and how it's important that we look for opportunities to help feed the world and hopefully benefit financially and economically here at home as well. This hearing on Taiwan and our future trade relationship shows us exactly why it is important to have a proactive and cogent trade agenda, particularly in the Indo-Pacific. Taiwan's top trading partner is not the U.S., but China. I'm pleased that Taiwan is eager to strengthen ties with us and our Main Street values. The appetite is there, and it's not just Taiwan seeking American economic diplomacy and American goods and services. Others around the world are looking for U.S. economic leadership in the face of regional bullies like China and Russia. Done right, this could be a win for American businesses and consumers and a win for democracy. But American exports must be treated fairly, including agriculture, and we need the tools to get us across the finish line, including Trade Promotion Authority that was mentioned earlier. My first question, Ms. Glazer, can you discuss how the U.S. Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade will increase market access for American exports into Taiwan? I encourage the administration to consider including Taiwan in IPEF, but of course it did not. There are some pros and cons to this choice. Inclusion in a larger bloc could help further integrate Taiwan into regional supply chains, but there are also opportunities in a bilateral agreement to achieve a higher level of ambition in some areas. How do you evaluate the implications of Taiwan being a part of IPEF versus a partner in a separated bilateral initiative as well?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. I share your view that there were some trade-offs here. I think that if we had included Taiwan as an initial member in the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, IPEF, we probably would have lost some other countries who felt that excluding both China and Taiwan, including Taiwan, would have been seen as destabilizing and potentially provoke Beijing. And as you know, there are smaller neighbors in the region who are very concerned about that, particularly in Southeast Asia. So I'm of the view that this new 21st century trade initiative with Taiwan can be used to perhaps even make progress even more quickly with Taiwan than in the IPEF framework. And as we make progress with Taiwan, that other countries, trading partners in the region, will see the benefits of eventually including Taiwan. In the meantime, we could negotiate what we would see as the building blocks or chapters of an eventual free trade agreement with Taiwan. So this is the first time we have USTR leading trade negotiations with Taiwan in a long time. Under the Trump administration, the State Department initiated an economic prosperity partnership dialogue. That was a good start, but as to your question on market access, my understanding is that market access is not currently included. There is a trade facilitation component, but not market access.
I appreciate that. I think market access certainly needs to be part of our objectives, especially relating to trade. It's hard to imagine a trade agreement really without market access. Can you also discuss the value of our showing leadership in the region by signing a trade agreement with Taiwan and perhaps how that might provide the necessary cover for other countries to do the same?
Yes, thank you, Congressman, for giving me an opportunity to reiterate this point because I think it's crucial. There are many other countries in the region who have even more at stake in their trade with Taiwan than we have. Australia had agreed to negotiate a trade agreement with Taiwan, but their relationship with China has become so troubled that they've sort of put it on the shelf. Japan has enormous amount of trade with Taiwan and sees Taiwan's security as existential. They have now resolved their agricultural problems because Taiwan had been blocking the import of the agricultural products from Fukushima and several of the other provinces after the nuclear accident. And that issue has now been resolved. So by removing that hurdle could open up opportunities. But in the absence of the United States going first, I think these countries are unlikely to move forward with Taiwan. I think that they would rather see the United States set the example and then, as you say, have us provide political cover and then move forward with Taiwan.
Thank you very much. I think it's important to note, there are a lot of moving parts here, but when we can lean in, especially in a bipartisan fashion, I think we see some great potential. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Let me recognize the